I don't even need to introduce him, do I? Every time he's on the show, he does this. It's Andy Young, it's Chris Khan, it's Shawnee Lawson, and it's me, Gav. This is the Fat Back 4 podcast. We're all a bit giddy because it's trophy week. And listen, we're going to try our best tonight. We're going to try our best tonight to look at a few transfer stories. You know, I know left backs are being looked at. Degsy is being linked away. Wijnaldum seems to be getting abused for no reason. The Thiago stuff is still hanging around, but it's gone a little bit quiet. We'll look at the FA Cup semi-final weekend because it was quite entertaining, and we'll finish off with the trophy lift on Wednesday. Lads, straight into it. And Grizz, I'm going to come to you first. I want to start off with Gino Wijnaldum, and you know this is all coupled with Thiago being linked to Liverpool. It went away for a little while, then it was linked that he was close to signing for United. Now it's back to Liverpool. I think the Norwich manager made some sort of comment around it today as well for some mad reason. But all this has led to a certain element of Liverpool's support base saying stuff like time for Wijnaldum to go, time for this, time for that, time for an upgrade. This is extremely unfair on Gini Wijnaldum, Chris. Extremely unfair.
It's just childish and pathetic, really. Unfair. You know, kids and stupid people don't care about fair or unfair. Well, kids don't have a concept of fair or unfair. And pathetic people are just wankers, aren't they? So anyone who's saying that Gini Wijnaldum, you know, needs to be upgraded, and thank you. I saw one Liverpool fan, and I'm sure he's a Liverpool fan because then his profile or whatever. And underneath, because a lot of people are taking a lot from his statement today. Was it on Instagram or tweet? Was it Twitter? He said, like, thanks. It's going to be amazing and blah, blah, blah. So everyone thought it seemed like a farewell speech, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a farewell speech anyway. And someone underneath had fucking one of those audacity to put one of those banners, you know, made up banners in the pretending banners saying, thanks for the memories, it's time to go. I mean,
I was seeing this. This was an Arsenal flag that they kind of mocked up as well, was it?
Yeah,
I seen it earlier. Yeah.
I mean, what goes through fucking people's heads to do something like that to one of the most loyal servants of the Klopp era, to one of the most hard-working? Can you imagine how much fucking miles this geezer's run for this club to make us reach where we are right now, which is top of the world? And we've got dickheads calling for him to go away now just because we got links with other players. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I really think it's a lot of crap, really. I mean, you know, I think he's got plenty of games for us in his legs, and I think he will be. I don't think he's going anywhere, personally. Yeah.
Kev O'Sullivan says, on a purely business level, we can't allow another Emre Can situation. I hope he signs, but I understand if he wants.
From a business point of view, yeah, I done the emotional one, but from a business point of view, if he was offered 30 million, if someone offered 30 million to FSG, and with Gini coming up to 30 now, in his last year of his contract, he probably wants, you know, a proper lucrative last contract, and maybe we can't sort of see us giving him that lucrative last contract, then it would be an issue. It would be a possibility, and I think FSG would consider it. But no one's going to pay 30 million for him, you know, in his last year of his contract in the stage where he is. So, you know, but from a business point of view, it could make sense. From an emotional playing point of view, it doesn't make no sense to even think about him going.
Andy, the point that's made by Kev O'Sullivan is you can't allow another Emre Can situation, and that's a fair point. But, like, you love all the Liverpool players. Like, you used to have Poulsen on the back of your jersey going back 10 years ago or so. But if it's a case of Gini Wijnaldum wanting to try something new, or go back to Holland and finish his career, or try something in Italy or wherever, that's fine. But we can't be walking around because we're tenuously linked to Thiago from Bayern saying Gini out the door. You can't do stuff like that, Andy.
No, first of all, I must say it's very hard to follow Grizz when we're talking about transfer stories because he's one of the most knowledgeable men on Twitter when it comes to what's happening. So fair play. And I do admire the new atrium you've had installed, Grizz.
The new what?
Atrium there above your head.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Magnificent. It's
Really
magnificent.
good.
The club contract now is paid for that.
Yeah.
I think the word for that is magnificent. It's magnificent.
Is that frosted? Would that let light in, or would it be?
Yeah, let's light in.
Good bit of light.
Do you have to look at it to realise that?
Yeah.
It looks like.
Just make sure that hasn't changed since the last time you looked at it, Chris.
It looks like
just have a big long stare at it and decide if it lets light in.
You don't often. It's natural instinct when someone mentions something that you don't normally look at in your house.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the fire alarm. Do you remember the fire alarm, lad? You know, and we noticed it. I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
You kind of listen to them rather than look at them.
Yeah. It looks like it's glass, but you have a blanket over it. Like, you know, when you're trying to get a puppy to get used to his new cage or something, you put a blanket over it.
Yeah.
There's no puppies and there's no cages, but everything else is correct.
Okay, are we going to talk to Wijnaldum or just is this room to improve? I don't know.
I don't know. What's there to talk about? Like, he banged out a tweet there, which obviously has a hidden message in there, whether he's about to sign a new contract. Like, he did mention looking forward to more years. Why would you say that if it was your farewell tweet? I'd imagine he's at the point where either there's a contract about to be signed that's going to be announced shortly, or he's trying to force Liverpool's hand into coming to his terms or something along them lines. There's not a lot of players out there who could come in and do the job he does, the heavy lifting he does. Holy shit! How did you do that?
Oh, it's magic. Go
on. So I'd be disappointed to see him going, but eventually that 11 is strong 11. It's going to have to be broken up, and I suppose we suspect that Wijnaldum might have been one of the first. And someone like Thiago coming in would just add that extra dynamic. But I'd honestly rather see him staying, sign the contract, because we could have a situation where we really miss what he adds to that midfield, what makes it work so well. And unfortunately, that's often the case where people don't know what they had until it's gone. So I think it'd be bad move to let him go. I hope whatever's holding up the contract gets sorted.
Ollie says, I didn't know Steve Martin was a Liverpool fan. That's a reference to Andy. I'm just amazed. I think his haircut is amazing. He's kept it immaculate throughout this whole pandemic, to be fair. And listen, well, when you call Keith a peanut and he got a little bit upset, but then he's okay. You can say whatever you want to Andy. Andy's absolutely fine. Shawnee, do you know what's bemusing to me, Shawnee? I'm being honest with you. Why, when you're like the Thiago links for me are very real, Shawnee. I'm going to put it out there. I think they're very, very real. Okay, but why do you immediately decide that Gini Wijnaldum is the player to leave? Like, I would argue James Milner would be a more obvious person to leave because of the situation at Leeds, because of his age and stuff like that. Why is it Gini Wijnaldum all of a sudden has to go?
Keita is a more viable alternative to Thiago. We could sell Keita for a fee and move him out and bring Thiago in, who we sort of signed Keita to do what Thiago does. Keita was doing what Thiago was doing for Bayern, for Leipzig, before we signed him. That's the thing. Where's this Genie stuff coming from? Who's saying stuff about him?
It's
on Twitter.
It's on Twitter. It's probably it's on Twitter, but like,
so ignore it. Like, ignore it. That's this is my way of thinking. You would never sit down in a pub amongst a group of Liverpool fans you didn't know. Not one of them would have that opinion. It's just fucking idiots on Twitter. That's all it is.
Shawnee, but the fact he's only got a year left on his contract, like it's a decent enough conclusion to come to.
Yeah, well, it's the forced conclusion. Look, it's 2-2 and getting 5. It's typical Liverpool fans, especially on Twitter. Like, it's the thing with Liverpool is they have this mentality that you can't have nice things. For years and years, everyone held Hendo and Chan against each other, like the two of them. Like you couldn't be a fan of Emre Can and be a fan of Jordan Henderson. You had to pick a side. You don't have to say, oh well, if I bring in Genie, it means we're getting Thiago, then I'll let Genie go. Like it's just fucking stupid. It's people on Twitter drilling up these conclusions in their head when I guarantee it's got absolutely nothing to do with it. Genie staying and Thiago coming in, I don't think there's any correlation between either of them. I think Genie will go. I think Genie's going to see out the last year of his contract and go. I don't think he's going to sign one. Just me personally. It would have been done by now. It's 18 months this is dragging on. And I kind of have the idea that we should probably be a little bit ruthless and say, yeah, all right, fuck you. And try sell him. Because that's what Ferguson would have done. That's you have to be ruthless. And it's just people have done. It's all right if you're linking Genie away, that's grand. But what they've done now is they start slaughtering his performance and singling him out, saying, "Oh, his head is all over the place." It's not all over the place. We've just won the league. The levels have dropped. Genie's not a fucking scapegoat. You don't have to get rid of fucking Genie to bring in Thiago. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just idiots on Twitter coming up with conclusions.
It's the word scapegoat. The one that's you nailed it on the head. We need a scapegoat. We need a scapegoat to keep talking, to keep momentum.
If Lallana had a year on his contract, it'd be Lallana that they're talking about. If it's just they pick one and they stick with it. Lallana's gone now. They know he won't be there, so they can't use him. They used Hendo for long enough. They used Lallana for the season. Going on, it's going to be Genie. That's the way it's going to be. And if it wasn't Genie, it'd probably be Chamberlain. They'd probably be saying, sell fucking Chamberlain to West Ham or something like that. That's just the way they are. They're never happy. They're never happy. They're always looking for something to give out about.
Listen, there's no doubt about that, you know. But as Andy said, when you couple in 11 months left on his deal now and there's links to Thiago, people put 2 and 2 together and probably get 5. You know, like we're looking at like if you go back to Timo Werner again, we pulled away from that, A, because of what's gone on with the pandemic, and B, the mad money has been offered to Chelsea, and Liverpool said no, we have a deal that we are comfortable with, and we're not going to go that high, and that's fair enough. You know, they're probably doing the same with Wijnaldum, and they're saying, look, there's a deal on the table. Wijnaldum's probably looking at it. It could be structured in a certain way where Wijnaldum's not completely and utterly sure and 100% of it, and he's taking his time. We don't know. All I'm saying is, to be linked with a player, you know, to just turn around, pick a squad member and say, oh, well, he has to go. That for me is absolutely insane. Stevie asked, lads, did you see the Coutinho photo tonight? I haven't
seen it.
You have, Shawnee. Do you want to fill us in?
Yeah, remember that time when the Van Dijk transfer fell through and he put up the video of him looking out the window on the private jet with the little dreaming emoji?
Yeah.
When it all fell through and everything went to shit. Well, Coutinho put one up similar tonight saying, I'm coming home. And I need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a look at the registration on that plane.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's due into John Lennon now.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to keep a track on that and keep
a live
update?
If anyone's in the John Lennon area, if they could spin out, just check it out. There'll be a Mercedes Vito van waiting on them.
Yeah.
He's probably going back to Brazil. He's probably going back to Brazil for a couple of weeks or something.
Someone's probably getting baptized. You know, big Hooley, Allison.
He wouldn't have the nerve to call LFC home. He wouldn't after the way he left.
I disagree with you.
He wouldn't have the nerve, or he wouldn't think that wouldn't look good on him.
I disagree.
Do you not think he's gonna need to make some? Like if he was right, this is fantasy stuff, right? Not even because I really want it to happen. I personally don't, but he's gonna need to make some sort of big statement.
I get what you're saying.
That's gonna get people's, get people on his on.
Let's be honest.
And
we're all fickle. We're all fickle. He cuts in on the 4th day of the season next year and bangs one in top corner. Everything's forgotten about.
If that's the case, though. If that's the case, though, saying stuff like that is a PR masterstroke. So I disagree with you if you wouldn't say that.
I know, Andy was talking about like sort of how Sacco endeared himself to the Liverpool fans by saying LFC country.
Yeah,
Liverpool country. But there's
If Coutinho comes back and paints a few gaffes, I'd say people are forgiven. Stevie says Gav's dreaming. He loves Coutinho. He's a brilliant player, and I'll say it again. Anyone that doesn't think Coutinho improves their squad is off their rocker.
Of course he would, but I don't think the Coutinho second coming will be anything like his last season at Anfield. He's had a couple of years now of very average performances and a couple of glimpses really of his quality. It'd be difficult to replicate that again, especially coming into a team who's totally moved on from his type of player. Totally. Yeah. The midfield doesn't do what we did then with Coutinho, just getting the ball to him, and nothing really happens through the middle anymore.
Yeah.
Kev Sullivan feels that he's an Arsenal signing all day long. I think that's a decent show as well, in fairness.
Imagine you call Arsenal home, that'd be some crack.
Yeah, it would be. Again, we'd be asking what are they smoking over in the Emirates.
Yeah.
But there's over 100 people watching this at the moment. If you are watching, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And listen, there's a very easy way of just, if you're watching it on a tablet or a phone or whatever, you can just hit the share button and share it across your social media as well. It would be very much appreciated. Just moving on. Shawnee, I'll come to you first. Degsy Lovren has been linked away to Zenit St. Petersburg. I find this one a bit strange as well, because there was talk last week that Liverpool were going to take up the year option on Lovren till 2022. Now, people made out that the reason for that was because they're trying to hold the value on him and may still sell him this summer. But Shawnee, we've been kind of told early doors, you know, when the end of this season has approached, that it'll be a quiet summer for Liverpool. I can't see this one happening.
No, we heard different things, didn't we? Like, they were saying nothing's going to happen, then 2 or 3
are
going to come in.
Shawnee's on mute.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, Shawnee. Yeah, 100% I can hear you.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows what's going on. I don't even think Liverpool know what's going on, because they're trying to see the lay of the land in terms of how COVID is going to affect football. Now, Boris Johnson saying football might be back as early as October, so that might open up the gates for the lads, FSG, to loosen up the purse strings a little bit, sort of thing. Why wouldn't you extend his contract when it literally doesn't cost you anything, rather than just leaving him there and let him go for free in the summer? If Zenit want him, if we extend his contract, it means that we have to get something for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they want him, they're going to pay a fee. I wouldn't read too much into it, to be honest. I think Lovren will be gone, though. I can't see him sitting around being 4th choice again this year.
But but the way you're looking at it, Shawnee, is they take the extension on the contract, so he, instead of having a year left, he has 2 years left. And but you feel that they'll still sell him in this window?
Yeah, I think he wants to go, and I think if we don't take up the option, he could sit. He probably say to his agent, "Look, I'll sit around for another year, and I'll get a big signing on bonus going to Zenit if they can't agree a deal with Liverpool." Whereas if we just extend, where we don't have to give him more wages, we'll literally just extend him for a year, because that's what the extra option. That's how it works. Then Zenit will have to give us something, whether it's 10 or 15 million, or guaranteed something, because he's not going to sit around for 2 years. Do you get me?
Yeah,
it hardly makes sense. Hardly makes sense for him to extend his contract. You know, it's not.
No, Liverpool have the option.
He can't. He can't do anything about it.
They can just do it.
It's a clause. The option. It's an option. Yeah. It's an option to extend. United do it all the time. United have it with all the players.
Yeah. But I just think it's another move we'll have to make. Now, I've seen people argue that they'll just go with Gomez, Matip and Van Dijk, and they'll use Fabinho as a 4th centre-half, and, you know, Lovren out the door. But, so, Grizz, coming to you, like, Shawnee feels that they will extend the contract, but will sell him in the summer. Are you on the same wavelength there? Because we'd have to bring in another centre-half, Grizz, if you're not going to do that Fabinho thing.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely bring in someone to replace him. We won't rely on Fabinho going back, because Fabinho is such a beast in central midfield. It just doesn't make sense. Unless Thiago comes in and then Thiago takes Fabinho's place, and etc. etc. But no, I see Lovren going. I don't see Lovren staying. I just think we're waiting for a decent fee. That report said we've refused 9 million. We won't refuse 9 million. We will not refuse 9 million. I don't think there's a 9 million deal offer there on the table. We will, for someone like Degsy, who's 30 plus now, is he? Or is he around 30?
He's in around it, yeah.
I think he's about 30, 31, injury prone. Hardly gets a game unless it's, the others are injured. We won't, his last contract, we won't, if we get a decent size fee for him, he goes now. If not, we just extend the contract automatically and then sell him in the summer. Next summer, sorry. But he's definitely a goner. I think if we get anything around 9-10 million, he's gone. Okay. And we bring in another centre back.
Just going back to what you said, like it being a quiet summer. It's not really going to be. I don't think it will be. It's not going to be mad, but we're not going to not sign anyone. There's no way all other clubs in the league are going to be doing business, and Liverpool are just going to sit there and say, no, we're not. Like, look at the financials. There is money there. Klopp is just being coy. The last thing you want the clubs you're buying from to know is that you're sitting on stacks of cash. Just play the field to catch the wires. That's all they're doing. They don't want people to know, we have record-breaking revenues, and they're letting on that we have fuck all there. It's just gamesmanship, really. That's all it is.
Yeah. We have a decent storyline behind it, but to mention, the no gate receipts and everything, the uncertainty in the future. But we all know that they've maximised their revenue in the last couple of years. When you're at the top of your game and you win the league and you're winning Champions League and you're after signing one of the forecasted record deal, one of the biggest deals in the world, there's money there. And as Shawnee says, you don't want teams that you're trying to buy their players thinking that you're easy pickings. We'll have the first year of your night deal. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
no chance.
You have cards close to your chest, as they say. I'm just
Max saying in the comments there that City are gonna blow the bollocks off the window. They're not, because they can't.
Won't.
Because I'm telling you now, I know what happened last week. FFP is still a thing, and they got off on a technicality, and UEFA are waiting to wallop someone. So if you're not in line, you're gonna get walloped. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. Like, we spoke to David Lynch during the week, myself and Grizz, from the Evening Standard, and he was saying that he agreed with the point that was made that that they've got offer it, but it doesn't give them free reign whatsoever. It actually tightens the microscope on them, I suppose. Grizz, last thing, there's been a lot of going around with regards to, and again, when David Lynch spoke to us, this was one of the main topics we spoke about, and it seems to be a fairly widespread opinion that a cover at left back is something that we should be looking at and possibly are looking at. This one could go under the radar, Grizz, couldn't it? This one where we could just bring in left back cover, nice and simple, straightforward transfer, job done. What's your feelings on it?
Yeah, I think it's a given that. And that's why what Shawnee said about transfers and us doing business, 100%. We will not go into the season relying on, what's the young lad's name?
Nico Williams.
Use at left back. Nico Williams. We're not going to be using Nico Williams at left back as an understudy to Robbo. And Milner just can't play there anymore, bless him. He's picking up injuries, etc. So we'll probably touch on Milner. Going back to Leeds maybe later, but I think we definitely bring in a left back, and I definitely think we've made inquiries for a few players, which gives me more confidence that we're going to bring in a left back. I think.
What players?
Jamal Lewis of Norwich City. What's the other guy's name, man? I tweeted them, man.
Max something or other, was it?
Max Clark. Is it Max Clark, Sean?
Yeah, Max Clark from
Vita Sanam. Don't know much about him, but the hipsters tell me he's good. I missed out on watching him this season. And a young lad from Leeds who can play centre back and left back, which is ideal. What we're actually looking for apparently in the market. Someone who can cover left side centre back and play left back. So these are the three names that I've heard. We've been watching and scouting, so it means there's positive. It means our scouts, the Edwards of this world, aren't just sitting there and just, according to, LFC Twitter, just getting their wages and money and fees paid into their account for no reason. They are actually working. They are actually trying to bring in people. We're going to be in the market. We're just being clever. We're a clever club. Why the fuck would people not clock onto that? We're a clever club. And everything we do is clever. And this is another clever ploy. We didn't reach the summit without being creative and clever. We didn't have the financial power to just buy our way to the top. Everything we've done has been clever and coy and getting bargains and good business, and we're going to continue doing so. And this is a buyer's market. Whatever happens, whatever people say, we're not going to be spending 100 millions on one player or 50 million or whatever, but we will be looking for bargains. We will be bringing players in. And I think a young left back is a most certain now, 100%, especially with the departure of Larouci and pending departure of Larouci and the pending loan of the other fella. I'm really bad with that's the one.
Yeah. Andy, do you go along with this? Left back cover is definitely needed because, as I said, it's kind of widespread between journalists and analysts of the game that Liverpool should be looking there and it should be a priority. Do you go along with this?
Yeah, I do, and I agree with Grizz. Like the whole thing about Milner playing left back, it's more or less being sort of confirmed now that he's no longer sufficient cover at left back. He can't do the job that Andy Robinson does at all. We need a like for like. This business is totally changing our shape and our system, and not just to give Robertson's legs a rest or he takes a knock. So got to be bringing in someone who's got the legs to get up and down and has a decent delivery. I'm not going to be sitting here giving names, pretending I have a clue about who's potentially going to sign for us. But I would imagine with the three teams going down to be a bit of a raid going on there. That would be my inclination.
Yeah. Robbie Ryan says, like Kelly looked decent today at full back. A full back playing centre back.
We were after him before he went to Bournemouth, so it's probably
Yeah, Shawnee, I think you agree that left back is something that we should be looking at. And Grizz has mentioned a couple of names, and there's been a couple of names mentioned in the chat, like Kelly. There's been one or two more as well.
Someone David said Alaba. That's mad. Like that's fancy stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be happening.
David Alaba's probably on more than any player at LFC now at the moment. Just bin that for a minute and don't get upset when it doesn't happen. That's the only thing I could say to you, because a lot of people will. Like, it's just fantasy stuff. We don't do that. We've never done that. We don't go and buy superstars. We make them. This is what Neville said. Klopp turns 30 million players into 120 million players, or 8 million players into 80 million players. That's what we do. That's the model. Like Andy said, there's an abundance of talent gone down there with the likes of Norwich. It looks like Bournemouth are going to drop, and whoever else. There's going to be players there that Klopp will know himself we can take for a price and bring them in, and they'll be sufficient cover, and they'll be young, and they'll fit the model, and they'll probably be happy to play back up to Robbo. You know what I mean? We need it. We need a natural sided cover anyway, because like the boys went, like there's a possibility Milner could go. I definitely reckon there's a possibility that Milner could end up at Leeds, like his last year being at Leeds. As much as I don't want it to happen, you kind of like, if he made any noise towards it wanting to happen, you couldn't really deny him it. You know what I mean? But let's see. David Alaba is, people are throwing that around. That's madness.
David Alaba, as mad as it is, it is mad, and there's absolutely, I agree with you. But that is one of those fucking game changers, though, because that's in the league of Alisson and VVD.
But they were complete necessities, Grizz. Like, they weren't players being brought in to fucking cover a left back. Like, you know what I mean? Alisson was one, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. We needed a goalkeeper. We spent 75 million. Van Dijk was the be all and end all. We didn't go for anyone else when we didn't get him. We waited to get him. David Alaba wants out of Bayern Munich because he doesn't want to fucking play left back. He wants to play centre mid. That's what he wants to do.
I was just gonna say, but just playing fantasy football, he's the ultimate James Bond replacement.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah, another 2 weeks I've taken you. Right. But in terms of James Milner replacement, there's no one who's more better, equipped to be the James Milner replacement, as in he can play centre back, left back, and central midfield equally on an elite level.
I throw a shout out. David Alaba could sign for us, and I'm not joking you. He'd be our best left back, he'd be our second best centre back, and he'd be our best midfielder. That's the type of footballer that you're talking about.
That's what you're talking about.
That's how good he is. And someone said we do sign superstars. Well, we don't really. We got VVD and we got Alisson. Yeah, in circumstances. But when else do we do it? Look at the likes of Genie.
Superstars. They want
look
superstars.
At Robbo.
You're right. Yeah,
look at Salah.
We haven't bought a superstar.
People balked at Mane when we signed him. They wanted to make Mkhitaryan instead. He wasn't world class. So just fucking trust the process by now. Look where it's at the lead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask with regards to left back, do you all think, because it seems to be a big thing. Jer Cahill says Ryan Fraser on a free. I don't know why Ryan Fraser keeps getting mentioned this left back thing. He's a right-sided midfielder, predominantly. I don't know where.
And he's a little shy bag as well. I wouldn't have
him.
Yeah,
a little dope he is. He's not signing for us. Seb asks, Grizz, do you have any more information from your source on Thiago?
Yes.
Go on.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just say yeah and piss off, like.
Well, basically, we'll get Thiago. It's a long way to go. Window's not open. Talks are still going very, very well, just like they were for Naby Keita. These things take time.
Are they not fluid situations?
Well, that's what I mean. It's fluid. It's very fluid.
Right.
Nike want the big day.
But I'm very... As a cough, I'm very confident Thiago will be a Liverpool player, according to what I've been told. Very confident. Despite the local journals saying, no. The stats will change over the next couple of weeks. You can almost kind of seeing it change anyway, from nah to very unlikely to we'll have to sell first, and the next step will be, well, if the right price, and that's exactly what it is. It's just we're just bargaining with them, where Edward is doing this thing.
Andy, I just think it's just there's a bit to happen with Gini Wijnaldum first before Liverpool go balls deep with for Thiago. I see Sean shaking his head. I really don't think it's your typical bedwetter on Twitter type of scenario. We have a midfielder who was genuinely in the midst of a contract dispute and can leave on a free next summer, and it's still not sorted. And then you have a player who can come in and probably easily replace him and maybe not do exactly the same sort of job, but definitely do a really good job in our midfield. Putting word out there to his age, between his age and the media, that he's open to come to Liverpool. So I'd say it depends on what happens at Liverpool first, and what happens with Wijnaldum. If Wijnaldum signs a contract extension tomorrow morning and we see it's on Liverpool Twitter account, Thiago won't be coming to Liverpool.
I disagree. I think something will definitely happen. I think there'll be a decision made on Wijnaldum in the next.
Who's going to buy you?
I'll have a €50 charity bet
with me.
Thiago and Gini Wijnaldum, right, won't be playing for Liverpool at the same time. As in,
I'll tell you what we do.
I'll tell you what we do. Definitely.
I'll tell you what we do. I'll take that 50 quid bet off you, but whoever loses has to put the money towards Trev's present.
No, this has to go to a better cost than that. €50. I'm not paying €50 for Trev's present for this. This is for charity. And I don't give a shit if I lose the bet, but it's just for a bit of crack. So
you're saying if Gini Wijnaldum signs a deal at Liverpool, Thiago doesn't sign for Liverpool?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I disagree, and I'll take the bet. You taking the bet, Grizz?
You can't bet with two of us.
What you want? €25 each.
He'll have to do mad all the time.
Still installments? No, it's 50 quid.
Oh, by the way, Matt hasn't paid. I don't know if Gav, you want to make a public announcement of that. I think he deserves a public announcement. That
Matt has not paid the bet.
Fulfilled he hasn't paid the name charity.
Like there are some there. Thiago left centre midfield, Fabinho right centre midfield, Gini in the hole take the bet. Like totally forgotten that our captain plays in the middle of the park and he's the first name on the fucking midfield every week.
What's that? Where have you just read that from?
Just one of the comments, Stu.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this, you know, Twitter. Sometimes I just think we've somehow got mashed in with Twitter from a parallel universe somewhere where there's stuff going on. Because it doesn't seem real to me that people see.
Andy,
football.
did you not start the Genie out Thiago in narrative on Twitter?
Yeah, 100%. Sure he started it.
You absolutely did.
He started it. He let everybody go mental and then went, do you know what's wrong with Twitter? People going on about Genie leaving and Thiago coming in, and now he's betting that it won't happen.
some lunatic. God, can you make it clear that all the trippers have their own opinions? We're not sort of connected. Our opinions and our cause aren't.
Oh no, there's very little agreed on. There's very little agreed on.
Can you make sure people
between
know
all of us? Barry Devaney must be a friend of Andy's because he says, "Lads, who's leading the fantasy football league?" Andy, take it away.
Well, I mean, nothing new.
Yeah.
Every year this is pretty much.
Who won it last year?
Who won it last year?
Me.
Surely won it last year.
Did you?
Last year.
Yeah, and Dicko was second. You didn't.
Yeah.
You had.
So that last year
you
was
only
just
had you'd only one game a week this year. That's what went. Yeah, you'd only one game a week. No European.
Last year was a freak.
Yeah.
So this year it should have been null and void. It should have been null and void this year, really, because
Shawnee played Leicester.
I'd no internet from March.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Shawnee's like,
What happened was Shawnee was lying down. Shawnee was lying down one night, and actually his phone was in his back pocket, and he ended up triple captain and wild card, and he done it all in the 1 week by mistake, and that's what held him back. But Barry,
the thing is, Andy, you're gonna win the league, but you're not gonna win a penny. But I'm about to take 200 quid off Matt. So who's the real winner?
Is it 200?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 100.
He won't pay you. He hasn't paid me. Stand in the queue.
Yeah.
Matt's on notice tonight. Anyone get on to Matt's on notice tonight. Just DM Matt, tell him he's a Welcher.
He can't get onto Twitter.
No, we can't get onto Twitter. He keeps getting banned every time he does one tweet. Even if he done a tweet to say "I love the whole world," they just ban him. But I believe Matt will be having some sort of creditors meeting in Dubai towards the end of the summer to see what you can get on your pound.
He's gonna need a bleeding dig out as mates at MTK or something like this, right?
He owes a lot of people money.
Barry, to answer your question, Andy is in fourth place. He's about 150 points clear of Big Joe Walsh.
Someone says he's leading. Some fella Barry says he's leading the Daytrippers one.
There's another one.
There's one for.
There's another one for. Yeah, the listeners ones. I don't even know if we've looked at it. We'll have to go back and look at it. But the one between all of us, are the lads in part of the podcast that actually.
Andy's leaving. Andy's leading by about 20 points.
20?
30 points. Yeah. 20,
oh, okay. I was more than that.
Oh.
The winner of the LFC Daytrippers,
60 points at least.
They're getting a 3-month subscription to Al Rogers Tips.
Oh, okay, nice. But no, I think what you'll find is the winner of what they'll actually get is I think they get the new home jersey. I'm being honest with you, but I'll have to look that up. But we'll do something for whoever wins.
That's nice. It's going to be about 150 quid.
Doesn't matter. We're loaded. Sure, we've all the money we bet with Matt, and he's when he pays it, we'll have loads of money. Lads, I want to move on. And I want to look. It was FA Cup semi-final weekend. This Manchester United side that has world football rattled were dispatched by Chelsea today, and Man City's season that started 2 weeks ago just keep bottling things, because they're a big pack of bottlers. Shawnee, you said to me before we come on, Gav, we have to talk about this because what Pep Guardiola has done at Man City this season. If the roles were reversed and it was Klopp at Liverpool, he would be absolutely slaughtered 24 hours a day by the sports media. And you're not happy that he's getting away with this, are you?
No, it's just, I try to think if the show was on the other foot, what happening to Jurgen Klopp now if we were reigning champions and we were 20 points behind City and dropping out. Like, winning the Carragher Cup's not going to cut it. You have the most expensive. Like, you can literally play 2 teams in the Carabao Cup. If City could enter 2 teams into the Carabao Cup, they'd probably be in the final every season because nobody else really takes it as serious as them. They've nearly lost any game that meant that to them this year. In terms of it, when the pressure was on, they just have not performed. Now we've let off the gas obviously since winning the league, and this narrative was being drummed up. Like your man Ian Ladyman was about to release an article about Liverpool, what they need to do in the summer to catch back up to Man City after winning the league. He published the article at 5 to 6. 20 minutes later, the final missing went to St Mary's, and City were at the game beaten in Southampton 1-0. So it's just every week there's a new challenger being drummed up by the media, whether it's Rio Ferdinand, fucking whoever else, Noel Custis on Sunday Supplement, Gary Neville, Martin Tyler, just trying to steal the shine. It's kind of annoying because I think Pep is getting away with more. The stats coming out of him spending £435 million on defenders only and having one defender worth toffee is fucking bonkers. If anyone else was in that position, they'd be getting lashed out of it. Absolutely lashed out of it. And nothing is said. Even after he had an absolute outburst last week and nothing was made of it. Whereas if it was Klopp, it'd be front page news everywhere. Similar to Rafa, similar to this. Getting away with more. And I think City...
Why is that, do you think?
City are going forward backwards than they are getting closer to catching us, no matter what we do. We've just switched off because we've won the league. You know what I mean? These narratives are fucking mad. They drive me nuts. And it's going to be constant now because we're champions. Next year is going to be... When you see when all these predictions and all are coming out.
It's... Grizz, I'll put it to you that... and I've said this a couple of times. When we were about to win the league, the media tried to tell you that the league was poor. And then when we won the league and our worst fears came true, they then tried to drum up Man City. You know, what Liverpool have to do to keep up with Man City next season, despite being 25 points behind us. United have all the ingredients. Rio Ferdinand's telling you that no one goes through the gears like Manchester United. And you have all this. And I just think they're going to use Liverpool as a to deflect away from anything else to do with any other club. You know, because we've listened for 2 weeks now about points totals, and who was that fucking idiot on TalkSport or whatever it was the other day? You tweeted about it, Chris. Darren Bent, trying to
talking
tell
about
Liverpool,
mentality.
Yeah, trying to tell Liverpool about what mentality they should have. Let me repeat that. Darren Bent trying to tell Liverpool what sort of mentality they need to have with regards to football. Insane. Jermaine Pennant saying that he's absolutely raging at Liverpool Football Club for not pushing on and creating more history. Someone needs to sit him down and say, listen, stop falling for this shit. But Grizz, are Liverpool being used as a buffer while, just keep talking about Liverpool and points totals while these are over here, like literally bottling that fucking season in front of us?
Yeah, but Gav, whatever they say, it's not working. So whatever they say is making them look stupid and foolish. Every pundit, every ex-player, every media outlet that is putting this rubbish out is backfiring in their face, and it's making our victory, it's making us look even better and giving us more ammunition to fire back. So let them. We can't control it at the moment. You know, Fergie managed to control the media after a period of success. Granted, our success is just at the start of, at the start of its stage. So we've got a bit of sort of, I understand that we have to win a few more titles to get really in these guys' faces and minds. But, we're the biggest club in the world. The people are using us for clout. Do you know what I mean? It's you use Liverpool's name and automatic likes and subscribes and views and everything increases, doubles. It's like, when Andy asked me for a retweet, he knows if Grizz, if I get a retweet of Grizz, you know what I mean? Bob's his uncle. So it's the same analogy. It's money in the bank.
It'd be huge money if you unblock those 7,500 people.
You've unblocked some numpties from last time, and they're still back on my case like obsessed.
Amazing.
But yeah, look, people are going to use Liverpool's name because Liverpool is the place to be. It's the name on everyone's lips. You're right. I mean, let them. Well, we can't stop them, so let them and just laugh in them because everything they say. Sorry,
BBC pulled up a graphic today, twice, and I had to rub my eyes to see if I was seeing things. They put up the league table in England since Bruno Fernandes signed. I was like,
what the fuck is that?
This is a fucking FA Cup semi-final. It's got absolutely nothing got to do with anything. Like, and he pulled her up twice in the middle of the game, and I was like, that's like something you'd see the United Report or something tweeting. And I was like, what is going on here? This is BBC, like the biggest broadcaster in England. What's that all about? What's that got to do with anything? I was going, what the like? It just it baffles. It's baffling, to be honest. And another thing, Liverpool got lashed as a city by its own mayor when the fans turned up outside Anfield after the Chelsea City game, and then Leeds done it, and it was great to see. So I hope there's a million people outside Anfield on Wednesday. I really do. I don't care. I don't give a bollocks.
It's got to be bananas. It's got to be bananas outside Anfield. There's got to be fireworks throughout the game. Guarantee you.
Yeah. Andy, I'd say you're delighted with all this stuff. I'm being honest with you, because you love to see, the media scrambling, and you can see straight through it. Any fucking I can see straight through it, and I'm an Egypt. Do you know what I mean? So, anybody with any sort of sense can see through what's going on here, Andy. But at the same time, I get a little bit annoyed at it, because I'm kind of going, are we paying for this shit? Like the likes of Rio Ferdinand pretending to be a pundit when he's not. He's just, it's clickbait. In oral form. But Andy, I'd say you love this.
If you were a United fan, you'd be loving Rio. Like, he tweeted the next day, like, a picture of himself on the phone. He says he's just ringing to see who's at the wheel. That's going to a matter of days and to come back to bite him in the arse. You know what I mean? Yeah. The media built up the narrative about City after beating us and going on, and then they get knocked out of you. Oh, sorry, about Arsenal beating us as well. Even our own fans criticising about being beaten by Arsenal, and City fans like, you're being beaten by Arsenal. 2 days. It doesn't take long.
It
doesn't take long. And when you're at the top of your game, and the media are coming after you, and opposition fans are coming after you, it doesn't take long. Years ago, when we were shit, people would have their day, but it's our day now. And no matter what they throw at us, it won't stick.
God, I thought you were gone there for a minute, but you must have been just thinking of those 3 words to say. But no, listen. I just get a bit annoyed about, and I shouldn't, because I fucking told everyone this was going to happen. I told you the media, because of a certain era, were terrified Liverpool win the title, because they can just see their childhood flashing before them, and a repeat of it happening. Stephen Mack has given me a live count on how many likes have been here. He says it's currently at 46. That's not enough. Keep hitting the like button. Just keep hitting the like button. It's very, very simple. It's right in front of you there. Just hit it. Quick one, lads. Yes or no answer, because it's come up a couple of times, and I want to ask it. So yes or no. Grizz first. Willian on a free.
Yes.
Okay. Shawnee, Willian on a free.
Absolutely.
Okay. Andy, Willian on a free.
Yeah.
Not less Mane goes.
It's an absolute no-brainer. I know you asked for a one-word answer, but I'm going to give you loads of words.
Go on, context. Love it.
Shaqiri for
grey hair.
Yeah, for quality.
Yeah.
I like a good hairdo.
Quality.
He just doesn't fit when he comes in. Yet Willian would come in like for like if needed. It'd be a perfect budget signing. FSG, we have form there in bringing in someone on the cheap or bringing in someone for free, and they can do a job. There's plenty of years left in Willian.
I think
I thought he was starting to lose the legs a bit today, but he turned his midfield at one stage. He still has like bags of pace. Like, I think to be a few clubs in for Willian. I think he might be able to get himself a decent wage and a decent signing on, but I'd definitely be up for bringing him in. Like Andy said, he's an upgrade on Shaqiri, 10 toes down. Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking get him in.
I think it's a no-brainer as well. I think, I like Shaqiri. I like the sort of player he is. I know what he can bring to Liverpool, especially when you're looking to to break down defences that sit deep. He is a very intelligent player, but Willian is as well. But also Willian is brilliant on the break. He's a brilliant eye for a pass. I think it'd be a brilliant deal to go with Willian. Lads, we're going to move on because we're going to talk about the most important thing. And the most important thing is Lifty McLifterson, also known as, to the layman, as Jordan Henderson, will be hoisting the Premier League title above his head on Wednesday night following the Chelsea game in the Kop. There'll be loads of lights going off and black cats going off and all sparklers and all sorts of stuff.
And gaskets going all over the country.
Possibly bigger fireworks than that. Head gasket fluid is at a premium all around the country as well as this happens. But, people have said, oh, look, it's, no one in the ground and stuff. Shawnee, you don't give two fucks, do you?
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. The start of all of this, I was gutted at the thought of being empty stadium and stuff like that. And I was really worried about how I'd feel about us winning the league. And then the scenes at Formby Hall happened and all of those sort of reservations I had went away because I thought the emotional element would be missing. But it just went to show that night that it means as much to the players as it does to us. And the club pulling out all the stops, big podium in the Kop, Kenny Dalglish holding her over. Wednesday night's going to be another very emotional night, I'd imagine. And it's great that I'm going to be with a few of the lads sharing the experience. I really can't wait. It's unbelievable. I just can't wait for the pictures of the lads holding the trophy now because I think that's all that matters. I think that's even what the players have been thinking about, to be honest, getting their medals and going on a holiday.
Well, exactly. I was just going to say, you can see from their stories and their Instagram and their tweets, Genie doing it, Hendo doing it. They're all coming out with sort of, we just can't wait until...
Origi put something up on Instagram tonight. He put his phone number or something up saying it's 72 hours until we lift the trophy.
Look at that.
Contact me and tell me how you feel or something. It's obviously some sort of publicity. No, honestly, it's obviously some sort of publicity thing. But no,
he went into Tesco and got a burner phone for that.
There's no 089 job.
That's obviously.
He got the 089 SIM card off Dicko. We did.
That's going to be
anymore.
This is new for me. All you passes have some sort of memory of a league title being lifted, but this is huge, and I really can't wait for Wednesday because not only as a fan base, I think this squad of players really deserve it. And just let's for this week, just fucking put transfer talk and the rest on ice and just soak in the fact that after 30 long years, we're Premier League champions, and Wednesday night is going to be historic, whether people like it or not. Whether there's fucking only the tea lady is in the ground or there's 55,000 in Anfield. Look, we'll get back there one day, but let's just soak it up for what it is. I can't fucking wait for Wednesday.
Avo says he's planning on going to the ground to celebrate in Stanley Park with his young lad. He's never seen it before. Avo's seen it 7 times. Sensible celebrations.
Wow.
Of course. Jono says, anyone seen the fences up outside Anfield? Wonder if the lads will be out with their trophy because fans will go to Anfield. Yeah, we are talking about that before we come on. We feel that there's something definitely going on there where they can keep the players at a safe distance from the fans, but also bring out the trophy. And it might actually help disperse people. They come out, they see the trophy being lifted by the players go back in and people go, great, and off they go, rather than just hanging around, hoping that's
lock in the park. Social distancing points in the park.
Andy.
Yeah.
You're going to love it, aren't you? Like, your hands are going to be all over the place, I'd say, when Liverpool are lifting that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm a little bit concerned.
It's going to be on my shoulders.
Fucking sure. I'm a bit concerned about that platform, though, I have to say.
Oh, go on. From a structural point of view?
From a health and safety point of view.
Oh, right. Yeah, I love this.
Because, when Henderson's doing all his foot things,
the shuffles.
Will it be all right, do you think?
I'd say it'd be grand. I'd say they probably brought him in during the week. Well, they probably brought him in during the week and said, listen, just pretend to do it there and we'll check that everything's grand.
Practice.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's probably done a dry run of it,
Yeah, hopefully, I hope they've got a few heavier fellas up to do it first.
Right.
I wouldn't like.
Would you not send them an email and say, listen, lads, I'm concerned from a health and safety perspective. Is there any chance you could just give me a run through of what you have done
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just seeing the risk analysis that they've done there, just to check it out. And with Jamie Webster up on the roof as well. I hope he's safe.
Webster's not going up on the truss, is he?
Yeah. Did you
is
not
he?
know that? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's breaking news tonight. If you heard it here first, Jamie Webster will be up there
on the truss.
Yeah, and hopefully he's okay up there as well, and he doesn't fall.
Okay. Stephen Mack says there's 58 likes now on the show. Still not enough. Keep going, lads. Grizz, you told a nice story when Liverpool were crowned champions that you met up with a couple of your mates in a shed somewhere, I think it was. They were lads you knew. Was it a shed or a barn or something like that? A farm. It was along them lines. But you met up with them. They were lads you knew when they won the league the last time, and you sat around and had a good chat about it. You had watermelons and stuff like that. What's it going to mean to you on Wednesday night, Chris? Because there's been a long run up at this, but I think it'll still feel a bit surreal when it happens.
It will be goosebumps, Gav. Hairs will be standing up. All that stuff, man. It's real. It's finally going to be happening. You know, all that. What we associate with the 30 years of just fucking torture on it, Gav. Listening to all these other clubs fans and all the shit that we've had to endure and take, and now we're on top of the world. It's going to be mad. Mostly for the players. I get there's going to be so much for us and the joy for us from a selfish point of view. But these players have just literally bust their gut for us, man, and they deserve everything that they're going to get. You know, good luck to them. I can't wait, man. It's going to be magnificent, especially if what Shawnee says, like they're going to sort of parade it for the fans or whatever. That would just be magnificent, man.
It would be. Back to you, Andy. Just a couple of questions on it, and I think you're the man to answer these. Kenny giving Jordan Henderson the trophy would be delight you, wouldn't it? And the second thing is, we've got through a pandemic. Do you reckon this swarm of flying ants that's on the way towards the UK and Ireland could hinder this celebration on Wednesday?
I didn't hear about that, but that has me very concerned, because there's a few of them in my back garden.
Are they just like, are they ahead of the rest? Where are they, the gotchi?
There's actually flying ants in the back garden. I only seen them there in the last couple of days.
There's a swarm on its way. Apparently there's been satellite images and the swarm is absolutely massive.
I hoovered them up.
Yeah. What, you just run around the back garden with the Dyson?
I dragged the hoover out the back and hoovered them up.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
The little bastards.
Yeah. Wait, did you hoover them while they were flying or just having a rest?
No, they were like, do you ever see them? They're fucking horrible. Like, did they be on the ground crawling around riding and all?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I'll take a picture because I didn't get all of them. I'm sure I'll fucking go out there now and there'll be still a couple of them hanging around. Yeah. Seriously.
Well, that's a serious thing. No, seriously. A satellite image has caught a massive swarm of flying ants that's due over the UK and Ireland over the next couple of days.
Wow.
Now, where did he stop? Off? I don't know, but
how do they know? I mean, I've heard of flight trackers, but
the flight tracker.
No, yeah,
will you?
And tracker, telling you, no messing, lads, no messing. Listen, it's going to be brilliant on Wednesday night. All joking aside, it's going to be amazing. We're doing our best to meet up on Wednesday night, have a few beers, watch this together because, you know, even though most of us don't like each other, we do this together and we've seen this shit. So now it's time to see the really good stuff. I hope, for everyone's sake, you know, afterwards in the Kop, it looks very well. People will turn up to Anfield. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But people that turn up are responsible. Hopefully the players do get to come out onto the steps of the main stand, show people the trophy, and people can disperse then. And, you know, you're not left with all this fucking crap that went on over Anfield and the pier head and stuff like that going back a couple of weeks ago. And it's
I'd be shocked if the club play any part in encouraging that.
No, I don't think they will. But
they're going to be there anyway.
Yeah, they're going to be there, so I think there might be an effort by the club to disperse them.
By coming out with the trophy?
Yeah. Because fans might hang around going, oh, something might happen. You know what I mean? Whereas without saying anything, the club are basically showing we're going to come out with this fucking thing. People will go, oh, they're going to come out with it, they come out with it, and then people go, we got what we came for, and they go home. No, rather than going on for hours and hours.
That's just gonna have lads there all night, like hoping they come back out like for an encore.
You never know, but all those hoardings up around the main stand to block off the steps. There's something going on there, Andy. There's definitely something going on. Grizz, anything else before we go?
No, nothing from me.
No, nothing else you want to? No, you don't want to do anything. Okay, Shawnee, anything from you before we go?
No, just everyone enjoy it. Stay safe. Go to Anfield. Hug your mate. Get in the shoulders. Do what you want. Wear the head off young ones. Just enjoy it. Who knows what's going to happen? Won't be 30 years anyway, but drink it in. Enjoy it all on Wednesday.
Good stuff.
We'll be in the Camden. Give Neil Gray's name in the door if you don't want to get in. That's all I'd say.
Okay. Andy, anything else before we go? Anything annoying you that you want to discuss before we leave or anything like that?
No. It's the week that's in it. Nothing's really annoying me. Just echo what Shawnee says. Like, for the real fans like ourselves who wait for so long, like just look around when we're celebrating. Just smell it. You know what I mean? Might be a while again. I think it'd be next year, but just smell it and fucking soak it all in. Because this is what we've been waiting for so long, and it's not the best circumstance. You'd love to see them doing it with the crowd there, but we're gonna drag this one out like no other league win before. Yeah. There's gonna be the trophy be back out when the crowds are back in the ground. There'll be open top buses when it's safe to do so, and then next year we'll do it in front of the fans. So,
Andy, just before you jump off there, go on Twitter. There's been an update on the stage. We've got to the next level of the stage. I'm telling you now, there's fucking nothing budging that stage. It's some setup.
Yeah.
There's big white steps now on the cop up onto the stage. It's like a dance floor.
Well, Andy be happy with that. Andy be up all night now trying to see that.
Yeah, it looks like a fairly professional job, all right.
I wouldn't say they've just rang Mick and said, Mick, have you any scaffolding out the back?
Yeah.
Or my Akif. I don't think that's a job for my Akif.
Oh, Akif would have been perfect. He would have, wouldn't he? He would have.
Just a man.
What's going to happen?
He would have had central heating in the cup and all by the time they were finished.
What's going to happen to all the fans that were behind the flags on the cup? They won't get to see the. Do you know Do you know there was fans behind the flags watching the games?
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They're probably.
I'm telling you. Did you not see it?
No.
There was definitely fans in underneath the flag with little peepholes out the last few weeks, nice. And they're not going to get to see the games now.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's just how it goes. There's nothing you can do, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do.
Actually,
let me.
Just have something there, because in the comments someone mentioned about getting Gerrard out now would be a spoiler.
Yeah,
he's been very quiet about all this.
He's not going to open his mouth.
Gerrard's haunting big time, boys. And to be honest, I wouldn't.
Why though? I mean,
because Andy, this is being used as another fucking stick to beat him with. And see this picture of Trent picking him up off the ground with the trophy in his hand. It's completely unfair to Steven Gerrard. Fuck me.
All that shit needs to get in the bin. But no, on a serious note, he has been very quiet. Like, all the legends have been out talking about it. I haven't really seen much of it.
They all won one.
Yeah, but that's different for Gerrard. Gerrard, no matter what Gerrard says, he's going to get fucking lashed for it.
It's that as well, but I think there's a lot to do with he's still contracted to Rangers, man. He's got to still show that, he's manager of Rangers. All the lads that are talking are not sort of contracted to any clubs or anything. You know what I mean?
Let me see. Danny Emery says that stage was built by the same firm that built Kenny's cabinet.
Well, then it's going absolutely nowhere, because Kenny's cabinet is solid.
It's the best. It's the absolute star of the title win, in our humble opinion. Someone else has asked what night are we on this week. Tomorrow's the club. Tuesday we'll be on. Wednesday, very, very doubtful. But Thursday and Friday, very, very likely. And I think that's about it.
You might get a live stream from a curry shop on Camden Street as the stage on Wednesday.
Yeah, you might do. We might go live on YouTube from some sort of takeaway. But lads, it's been a brilliant show. Thanks to Grizz, thanks a million.
No problem, pal.
Good stuff. Andy, thanks a million. I'll see you soon.
Very welcome.
Shawnee, you're still beautiful. I'll see you soon.
Thanks very much, Gav.
Good stuff. That's been the
Can't
Fatback
wait.
4 podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Oh, go on, Shawnee.
Hold on, this is the bit when you're watching Klopp's press conference. We can't tell you, but Andy was telling us something before part. So we're moving on to the embargo after Gav's outro here.
Okay, yeah, say fucking nothing. I mean it, right? I fucking mean it. You don't unmute yourself here now when this starts going off, right? Or you'll end up in serious trouble. You will. The rest of us won't, right? But listen, that has been the Fatback 4 podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, hit the like button, share it around. You can find us everywhere else, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Just go and search LFC Daytrippers and you will find us. It's been a brilliant show. Thanks for watching.
I didn't think we'd get that much money for them. Is that how much we're getting for them?